The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Chapter 3. How Dorothy Saved the Scarecrow. After Dorothy was left alone, she began to feel hungry. She went to the cupboard, cut herself some bread, and spread butter on it. She shared some with Toto, and then took a pail from the shelf to fill with fresh, clear water from the nearby brook. She also noticed delicious fruit hanging from the trees, so she picked some, finding it just right to complete her breakfast. Then she returned to the house and gave both herself and Toto a good drink of the cool, clear water. Afterward, she began to get ready for the journey to the City of Emeralds. Dorothy had just one other dress, and it was clean, hanging on a peg by her bed. It was a gingham dress with blue and white checks. She carefully washed herself, put on the clean gingham dress, and tied her pink sunbonnet on her head. She took a small basket, filled it with bread from the cupboard, and placed a white cloth over the top. As she looked down, she noticed how old and worn her shoes were. "They surely won't do for a long journey, Toto," she said. Toto looked up at her with his small black eyes and wagged his tail to show he understood what she meant.
Wow.
Just then, Dorothy noticed the silver shoes lying on the table. They had once belonged to the Witch of the East. "I wonder if these will fit me," she said to Toto. "They would be perfect for a long walk since they can't wear out." She removed her old leather shoes and tried on the silver ones, which fit her perfectly, as if they had been made just for her. Finally, she picked up her basket. "Come along, Toto," she said. "We are going to the Emerald City to ask the Great Oz how we can return to Kansas." She closed and locked the door, then carefully placed the key in the pocket of her dress. After that, she and Toto set out on their journey.
Come on, Toto. Let's go.
There were several roads nearby, but Dorothy quickly found the one paved with yellow bricks. In a short time, she was walking briskly toward the Emerald City. The sun was bright and the birds sang sweetly, so Dorothy was not as upset as you might think, even though she was suddenly taken from her home and put in a strange place. As she walked along, she was surprised to see how beautiful the countryside was. Neat fences painted a soft blue lined the sides of the road, and beyond them were plentiful fields of grain and vegetables. The Munchkins came out to watch Dorothy and bowed low as she passed, since everyone knew she was the one who had destroyed the Wicked Witch and freed them from slavery. As evening approached, Dorothy, tired from her long walk and unsure where to spend the night, came upon a house larger than the others.
Thank you.
On the green lawn before it, many men and women were dancing. Nearby, a large table was filled with delicious fruits, nuts, pies, cakes, and many other delicious foods. The people greeted Dorothy warmly and invited her to supper and to spend the night with them. This was the home of one of the richest Munchkins in the land, and his friends had gathered to celebrate their freedom from the Wicked Witch's control. Dorothy had a hearty supper and was served personally by Boq, the rich Munchkin. When Boq noticed her silver shoes, he said, "You must be a great sorceress." "Why?" the girl asked him. "Because you are wearing silver shoes and you have killed the Wicked Witch. Besides, you have white in your dress, and only witches and sorceresses wear white." "My dress has a blue and white check pattern," said Dorothy, smoothing out the wrinkles in it. "It is kind of you to wear that," said Boq. Blue is the color of the Munchkins, and white is the color of witches. So we know you are a friendly witch.
Am I?
Dorothy wasn't sure how to respond because everyone seemed to believe she was a witch. However, she knew very well that she was just an ordinary little girl who had been carried by a cyclone to this strange land. Boq took Dorothy into the house and gave her a room with a nice bed. Dorothy slept well in the bed until morning. Toto curled up on the blue rug near her. Boq led Dorothy into the house and showed her a room with a pretty bed. Dorothy slept soundly on it until morning, with Toto curled up on the blue rug beside her. During her hearty breakfast, Dorothy asked, "How far is it to the Emerald City?" "I do not know," answered Boq gravely. "I have never been there." "It is a long way to the Emerald City, and it will take you many days. You must pass through rough and dangerous places before you complete your journey." This worried Dorothy a little, but she knew that only the Great Oz could help her return to Kansas. So she courageously decided not to turn back. She bade her friends goodbye and continued along the yellow brick road. After several miles, she chose to stop and rest. Climbing to the top of the fence beside the road, she sat down. Beyond the fence was a large cornfield, and nearby she noticed a scarecrow placed high on a pole to keep birds away from the ripe corn.
The Emerald City is far away.
Dorothy leaned her chin on her hand and looked thoughtfully at the scarecrow. Its head was a small sack stuffed with straw, with eyes, nose, and mouth painted on to make a face. While Dorothy was looking carefully at the strange, painted face of the scarecrow, she was surprised to see one eye slowly wink at her. At first, she thought she was imagining things, since scarecrows in Kansas never wink. Soon, the scarecrow nodded at her in a friendly way. Dorothy climbed down from the fence and approached it, while Toto ran around the pole, barking. "Good day," said the scarecrow in a rather hoarse voice. "Did you just speak?" the girl asked in surprise.
Hello!
"Of course," replied the scarecrow. "How are you?" "I'm quite well, thank you," Dorothy answered politely. "How are you?" "I'm not feeling well," said the scarecrow with a smile, "because it is very tiring to be up on this pole day and night, scaring away crows." "Can't you get down?" asked Dorothy. "No, because the pole is stuck in my back." "If you could take the pole away, I would be very grateful." Dorothy reached up with both arms and took the scarecrow off the pole. Since he was stuffed with straw, he was very light. "Thank you very much," said the scarecrow after she set him on the ground. "I feel like a new man." Dorothy was confused by this, because it seemed odd to hear a stuffed man talk and to watch him bow and walk beside her. "Who are you?" asked the scarecrow after he had stretched and yawned. "And where are you going?" "My name is Dorothy," replied the girl, "and I am going to the Emerald City to ask the Great Oz to help me return to Kansas." "Where is the Emerald City?" he asked. "And who is Oz?" Dorothy looked at him in surprise. "Don't you know?" she asked.
Don't you know the Oz?
"No, I really don't," he said sadly. "You see, I am stuffed with straw, so I don't have any brains at all." "Oh," said Dorothy, "I'm really sorry for you." "Do you think," he asked, "that if I go with you to the Emerald City, Oz will give me some brains?" "I can't say for sure," Dorothy replied, "but you are welcome to come with me." If Oz won't give you any brains, you will be no worse off than you are now." "That is true," said the Scarecrow. "You see," he said quietly, "I don't mind my legs, arms, and body being filled with straw because I can't feel pain. If someone steps on my toes or sticks a pin in me, it does not hurt. But I don't want people to say I'm a fool. If my head is filled with straw instead of brains, like yours, how can I ever learn anything?" "I know how you feel," said the little girl. She felt very sorry for him. "If you come with me, I will ask Oz to help you as much as he can." "Thank you," he said happily. They returned to the road. Dorothy helped the Scarecrow over the fence, and they set off along the yellow brick road toward the Emerald City. At first, Toto was not happy about the new member of the group. He often growled at the Scarecrow in an unfriendly manner. "Don't mind Toto," Dorothy said to her new friend. "He never bites." "Oh, I'm not afraid," the Scarecrow replied. "He can't hurt the straw. Let me carry that basket for you. I won't mind because I don't get tired. I'll tell you a secret," he added as they walked. "There is only one thing in the world I fear." "What is that?" asked Dorothy. "Is it the Munchkin farmer who made you?" "No," answered the Scarecrow. "It's a lit match.